That's frustration one. Let's get to frustration two.
No. Oh,
I have to start because I'm very frustrated and I have to get something out.
go for it.
Because this is what happens, sometimes you have these days and you're just like, and I have to get it out.
Yes.
So I don't know if I told you about my laptop, the laptop I'm using here.
I think you've told me things about it, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So anyway, I've
Oh,
had this laptop since 2021, right?
yes. Because didn't you buy that at the same time I bought this one?
Yeah,
We were
around
looking
the
at the
same time. Yeah, around the
yeah.
same time you bought yours. Well,
Yes.
just before Christmas, my keyboard stopped working on my laptop.
That's right. Yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
Okay. So I bought this Bluetooth keyboard. It's a
Mhm.
plastic thing, but it's even longer than if my laptop is 16 inches, well, the keyboard's got to be like 17 or something like, okay. And
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. I mean, I have it like this here, you could see this thing. Okay. So anyway, this is a giant like thing. I can't stand it. All right. Thank God it's Bluetooth, like the old ones used to plug them into your
Yeah.
computer. I don't,
Yeah.
okay, bonus, but it's still this clunky thing that's bigger
Mm.
than the size of my damn laptop. Now, when I go somewhere and I have to bring this laptop with me, I got to bring
Oh,
the freaking keyboard. That's frustration one. Let's get to frustration two, which is I finally decide today, well, I have some money in the bank because I have like with for my contracting now with my company, I have
yes.
money sitting there that I could use because then it's an expense to my company.
Yeah.
So why not do it? Because then I can write it off on my taxes too. So like, let me get a new computer. Started doing some investigation, if you will, into okay, what do I really want this time? Blah blah blah.
Yes.
Right? Because when I first bought this, I never needed this before because I had always used my IBM work laptop for my personal
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, and those laptops are really good. They're really hardy type of laptops because when they're in a corporation, you do a lot of stuff on them. So
Mm.
when I went to go buy a personal one, and I was trying to do that in a jiffy because when I got let go from IBM, it was like, give us
I
back
need
the
something now.
laptop. Okay, so
Yeah.
then I was like, oh shit, I need something, right? So I didn't really do much research because I just said, listen, I think these ones are good laptops. I'll just go pick one. And I picked one, and I've been happy with that laptop.
Yeah.
But now obviously it's crapped out. So I say to myself, okay, let me do some real research this time around because one of the things
Mm.
I've been doing a lot of, obviously, with my tarot YouTube channel,
Yeah.
is that I make a lot of videos.
Mm.
So I was doing research and it said, listen, if you're going to be like content creation and stuff like that, you need some certain specs. So I do all this research and I finally decide, okay, I have a model. I'm going to go get this model. Where can I go buy this model? So I go this morning and I say, let me go order my thing. It says sold out.
No. Oh.
You know what I want to say to that? Grr. I was very upset. Okay, so
Oh, I get that. Absolutely.
now let me go to so then what did I do this morning? Is then I said, okay, let me go see if there's another equivalent something somewhere
Mm.
that's available.
Mm.
So I go and I do more research. Like I thought I finished the damn research. Okay. So I keep going and I keep going. And then I find a different model. And the different model is not really for content creation, but it is a hardy laptop.
Yeah.
It's a bit whatever. But there's two things. It gets a little bit heavier in weight.
Mm.
So the one I have now and the one I was gonna buy is about 3.3 pounds. And the one that the other model that I looked at now today is 5 pounds.
Ooh, that's quite a big difference
Yeah,
ultimately,
exactly,
continuously.
right?
Yeah,
So then I said to myself, "Oh God, what is the bigger frustration? To wait for something you know you want for it to
want.
come in and have to work like this with this damn keyboard, or go
Mm.
buy something that I know I can have tomorrow, but it's going to be what, a 5 pound fucking laptop."
How long will it be before your other one is back in stock,
No
potentially?
clue. They don't tell you.
No. And is there nowhere else you can get that one from?
Yeah, that's what I was around looking for that model. Like I could only see that model there.
Oh
Now,
dear.
also too, is the price, right? The one I wanted is quite pricey, but
Mm.
it's got exactly the specifications I wanted.
You want? Yeah.
Exactly, 100% it's got the specifications I asked for. That one's probably about $2,500. That's before tax. The other one that I said, oh, the 5 pounder, that one is only about, I think, 1,900,
Okay, so a bit cheaper.
a bit cheaper. Exactly. So, I sit there and I say to myself, what the hell do I really want to do?
Mm.
I don't know.
I think because of what you want it for, as in progressing your tarot business,
Mhm.
you really need the better spec one, your first choice. And I think I think you'll become frustrated ultimately with the second choice if you bought that because it doesn't do all the things you want it to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I
Yeah.
think I don't know whether you can, well, you've done the research, but is there nothing other equivalent? Or again, going back to them and going, when's it going to be available? I
Well,
think,
that's the thing. So either when's it going to be available? Like I said, you can't see. I've looked everywhere on the thing. The
mm,
other thing I'm worrying about is the longer I use this thing,
yes.
sometimes like if the batteries die and I have to change the batteries, it
Mhm.
disconnects from the thing. And then I cannot get to the right place to reconnect it because the keyboard doesn't work.
No. Can I just go backwards a moment?
Yeah.
You bought that at the same time I bought this. And I just tell you know what I bought, but it's an Apple Mac.
Yeah.
And it's all singing, all dancing. For me, in my head, this is my new computer, even though it's
5 years. It's got to be
2021-ish,
at least
5 years.
5 years.
I still look upon it as my new computer, my new
Yeah.
laptop.
Yeah.
And you're saying that yours has already died. Can I
Yeah.
just put that into perspective a little bit? Mine
Yeah.
obviously was a lot more
Yeah.
expensive because it's an Apple Mac,
Yeah.
but
Listen, I
it,
could go to Apple. I could definitely, not like it would bother
yeah,
me whether I use Windows or not. But what bothers me is I've spent a lot of money on software
yes,
for Windows, and it's
yeah.
not cheap software, right? So the filming, the editing software, and some other softwares that I have on this laptop all work with Windows. If I have to get Mac, I have to rebuy them.
I mean, I went all Apple when I got my first Apple. I went all Apple. So I've got Pages
I
and,
don't
and all
really
that sort
care.
of
I mean,
stuff.
I have an iPhone, which is Apple, and I have
Yeah,
an iPad, which is Apple.
Apple. Yeah,
And I've lived wonderfully with
between the
Windows,
two.
with Windows and not having to go to a Mac computer.
Mm.
It definitely works differently a Mac computer because remember when I told you that last week I was going to a neighbor's house and then later to her brother to install his printer. Well, her
Yes,
brother actually had a Mac. She doesn't have a Mac, but he does.
right.
So I
Yes,
could put hers up, find the drivers, install it because I knew how,
yeah.
where everything was. Then I get to his house and I'm like, oh, geez,
Where do I
I got
start? Yeah, yes. I think once you get used to Apple, it's really good. I love my Apple. This is my
Listen, it's
second
anything. You
laptop.
get used to anything, then
Yeah,
you're used to it.
absolutely.
It doesn't matter. It's like my car. Let me give you an example of my car. When I
Yes.
first got my car, the shifter is not in between the two seats.
Oh no.
It's on the steering column.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like,
So,
yeah,
when I first got it in my car, like for the first 2 months, I would always go to put my hand and I'd be like, no,
where is
it's
it?
here. Now that I've been driving this car so long, if I get into a car with a shifter, I go, oh, it's here.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
just get used to something.
What are you going to do? I think you need to think for the long term rather than the short term. Um,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
advice.
I mean,
Having said
maybe I'll
that,
see if I can find that exact computer somewhere else.
yeah, yeah. It might have gone out of stock because we've just gone through Christmas and everyone bought it for Christmas or
Possible.
whatever.
Yes, it's very possible, right? Or,
So
you don't know. Sometimes stock means they only have five.
it occurred to me that where you're going on your cruise down to the Gulf of Mexico and along the Panama Canal and
Yes.
that area,
Yes.
is that safe? Oh my goodness.
Yes, well, that is the interesting question. That is the $1 million question. Because here's the thing about when you go on cruises. There is a caveat in their paperwork that says, we have the right to change itinerary based on whatever, because this is all liability for them. Like they're not going to
Yeah.
be cruising around warships or, where there's dropping bombs or whatever and have,
Really?
6,000 people killed and that's the
Mm.
end of their business, right? So
Yeah.
what they usually do is when they start to get things, they decide, do we keep this port of call
Mm.
or do we not? Now, sometimes it's not just their decision of the port of call. Sometimes it is the decision of like they can't get a slip, like they call it a slip, like in a berth or whatever, right? For a ship to, it's all based on availability, of how many ships they got in going into that country, do
Okay.
they want to pay the price of that? These things can change for many reasons. They might say, oh, you're
Okay.
going to this country, this country, this country, and then 2 weeks before your trip, you get a notice saying, we've changed the port from that to that. Now I'm going to tell you that's another
I can imagine. Yes, you had that last time, didn't you? You didn't go somewhere that you'd not been to
That's right. And that pissed us, like it pisses us
mm.
off because we choose our
On the
trips
places.
not just because we're free and we're going to go on vacation. It's because we choose to see different parts of the world that we
Mm.
haven't seen. So I'm
Yeah.
obviously going to that
Yeah.
part of the world because I'm trying to see that part of the
See it.
world. I'm not going there for sun. I can go to a lot of friggin' places for sun. So when they change the port of call, it
Mm.
actually is like terrible. So
Yes.
yes, you are
Yeah.
right, Susan. This is maybe not necessarily. I'm waiting to see because my trip is not until the end of March.
Yeah.
I still got like 2 months of who knows what kind of, well, 2 months, lots of shit can happen.
Absolutely.
War can start in 2 months, but the
Well,
point is,
that's what I'm going. What's going on there, considering what he's done in Venezuela right now, and he's been um, threatening Colombia and
yes, and I'm
Cuba.
going to Colombia.
Yeah,
It's one of my ports of call is Colombia.
yeah,
So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, okay, that they
yeah.
don't change anything. We'll
Mm,
see, but it could actually happen right up till the day. Listen, when I was on another ship, it was a different company, and I did my whole started in Africa, and then I literally went from Africa all the way up to Venice, right? I did that
mm.
big, huge, huge trip.
Yes,
One of the ports of call was in Egypt. We were supposed to go to three ports of call,
yeah,
and one of them got canceled. And I was really upset because that port of call was to go see Luxor and to
yes,
go to the Valley of the Kings. And I
yes.
was like, okay,
Mm,
great. I get to go to Cairo, which is check,
mm.
and I get to see the pyramids and the Sphinx, check.
Yeah,
But the other big thing for me was to go to Luxor and to
Mm.
see this what to see the Valley of the Kings. And of course, it was on the night, like that day that we were supposed to get off the ship, that we got canceled.
Good. Wow.
And we got canceled, they claimed, because it was weather the night before. And because it was weather the night before, there was either some storms or whatever. Another ship came in, took our berth.
Ah, okay.
Then they claim it was too much
Swap
to
it
then
around.
they claimed something about we couldn't get in. I think that's a little bit of bullshit. What I think happened is whoever took our berth couldn't get out in time or
Yes.
wasn't going to get out in time, and therefore that threw our whole schedule off. So they just said, we'll bypass it, and they sailed to the next stop. But what they do is they sail slowly, because sometimes
Slower.
if you're only going this far and you're going to do that in a day, they'll, like, crawl to get,
Mm.
you know what I mean, to the next destination. So it can happen right up to literally the night
The night
before
before.
that you're
Whoa.
supposed to go there. So you just don't know. Am I
No,
going to get
no.
canceled before? Are they going to switch it out for something else? When I'm
Yeah.
there, am I going to just end up on the ship for 20 days because I keep missing port after port after port?
For whatever
They
reason.
try not to do that because,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just customer sat goes down, off a cliff. But
Yeah.
they also, that's why they have the caveat that says we reserve the right because it could be
Change it.
beyond their control. It's liability and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's a grr kind of moment.
But you don't want to be sailing into a war zone, do
I don't
you?
want to be sailing into a war zone, but you're absolutely right. But then I say to myself, oh God, like why of all times did it have to do that when this
Yeah.
is the one time I choose that port? I could have chosen
Yeah.
anything else, but no, we chose that
There's
one.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just it's yeah, it's
Mm.
like wow.